Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your story at this time with Blair at the Oracle of Atlantis. So, we are going to get into the Dreams of Gaia Tarot for the original energy, your current situation or vibration. Then, we're going to get some guidance from your Angels of Atlantis Oracle cards, as well as the next phase on your journey with the Native Spirit. So the card that wanted to come out for your energy at this time, we have the Crone. So the Crone is basically the wise elder, right? She is a woman who has gone through the period of the menstruation cycle. So this kind of energy symbolizes somebody that would be very wise in their experience of life, grasping the wisdom they have attained through their whole journey, and able to offer you really solid, grounded advice that maybe nobody else can. And when I was shuffling the cards here for the next phase on your journey, these two cards fell out from the Crone, or on top of the Crone from the Native Spirit. We have something with an offering here. And a summon to answer the call. So what I was getting is there may be an elder, an ancestor, that is offering you advice and true direction. However, they also did fall out on top of this card reversed, right? So there could be someone who appears to be wise and full of wisdom, but they may be not offering solid advice at all. And this is going to fit differently for different situations is what I'm getting. Some people are going to have like really bad advice offered to them from like perhaps a woman who has maybe struggled in life. Maybe she has a lot of experience, but she also hasn't really maybe healed from those experiences. So her advice could be kind of coming from a negative mindset. For others of you, this is a balanced Crone energy where she has gained the wisdom, love of children, family, the experience of life itself, and actually has something really beautiful to offer you here, and you are being answered to the call. So you'll have to put that into your own situations. It's going to be different for everyone. Crone by choice or crone by gender or nature, the crone is a person who is not influenced by reproductive urges or the issues younger women and men in our society face. They see beyond body image, gender, sexuality, age, tribe, and family and societal expectations. The crone symbolizes a wise and mature person who chooses to be free and independent. They create a life and make their choices based upon their needs and desires, not the needs and desires of their family, partner, children, or society. They are also unbowed and unapologetic. Whether they choose to be partnered with another, single or childless, or a grandparent who says no to babysitting because they have something else they would prefer to be doing, they do not believe that their choices are selfish. Crone types are just as capable of selflessness as any other, but they do often have different priorities to those who have or want children. When the crone appears in the present, she represents freedom of choice and freedom to be. You only have one life to live, so it's important to live it, and that means putting your priorities first. You do not have to embrace traditions and beliefs that are archaic and restrictive. You do not have to do as you are told or what is expected of you. You do not have to allow others to determine your future or decide whether you have a purpose. Do not allow your age, your appearance, your gender, or your sexuality to become something that others use to define, restrict, or limit you. You are who you choose to be. So now we're going to dive into the Ethereal Visions Tarot. Ooh, I did see the Three of Swords, so there may be some pains of the heart. The Three of Swords can sometimes represent like a love triangle. That could apply for some. But either way, it is emotional upheaval, sadness, grief. But then we have, I did see the Four of Wands as well. So there's some sort of returning to home of oneself. There will be cause for celebration. There may even be for some of you a marriage, a union coming together with somebody who did break your heart. So clarifying this, we have the Three of Wands reversed. You might have to actually go for what you want here. Usually the Three of Wands upright suggests that your ships are coming to you. So I'm kind of getting this energy of you may actually have to go to them. Whatever that may be. But this card reversed represents a delay, obstacles, risk, and disappointment. Clarify the Three of Wands reversed for Aquarius, please, with the Crone's energy. We have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords can be about strength, determination, getting through. But it can also represent making hasty decisions. Sometimes the Knight of Swords rushes in without his armor or helmet, so he's not prepared to handle like some sort of backlash. So there's almost this energy with the Crone and the Three of Wands. Maybe perhaps some of you did rush into something, went for it, but maybe you weren't like prepared for the response. Ambitious, highly motivated, action and drive, a confident and articulate young man who may act impulsively, visionary and maybe unrealistic. He fights both bravely and foolishly, sometimes forgetting his armor or helmet. So is the viewer fighting bravely or foolishly? I almost feel like it's this Crone energy. Is this Crone energy fighting bravely or foolishly? Because that did kind of come out right in the beginning. I was kind of seeing the Crone from two different sides, right? One is like a mature, wise woman who has healed. Well, both are kind of wise. They have learned from their experience, but one is healed and one has not. So one has like absorbed the poison and one has released the poison. And it depends on you, viewer, watching out there. This elder woman, you will kind of know. Do they kind of see life from a bit of a pessimistic mindset? Kind of have a bitter taste in the mouth? Or are they actually wise and soft and calm to be around? The clarifying card of this Crone energy, we have the Five of Cups reversed, and this is actually quite a beautiful energy. It's an interesting card to come out in this clarification of the Crone and the Knight of Swords with Three of Wands reversed, because the Five of Cups usually does represent grief and sadness. But with it reversed, it's actually symbolizing acceptance, forgiveness, and nostalgia. So you definitely maybe in some sort of nostalgia, healing things, remembering beautiful parts of your journey. Kind of feeling a softness for it, right? Now, your archangel guiding you at this time, we have Uriel with trust. So there is a need to trust. Perhaps there's some sort of information that is coming through an elder that maybe you're a little worried about and not sure if it's the best advice for you. And the divine is really symbolizing that you just need to trust and surrender to the process, because everything happens for you, not to you. Disappointment often takes us to a state in life where the erosion of our faith in self, others, or the source occurs. Uriel is gently reminding you to practice belief, faith, and trust, for they are the three commandments of love. Simply say a gentle prayer to Uriel, to the source, asking to develop the muscle of trust and to take away the fever of untrust. Just like the soaring summits of wonderful trusting Everest, you will once more spring forward with joy in your step. You may always trust the angels, for they love for the sake of love. Chant Ha through your heart chakra to stimulate heart tingles and a resurgence of trusting fibers to fill your life. So it's H-A-H. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, we're going to chant Ha. So deep breath in. You want to feel the energetic vibration in the center of your chest space, in your heart chakra. So the next phase or step in your journey, we have the sacred mountain. So the sacred mountain is a source of power, right? Basically climbing to the tallest mountain would bring you closest to the heavens to connect and communicate with the divine. It's actually reminding me of Atlantis, actually, from a story I read that's actually Poseidon found the tallest mountain in the world and then fell in love with a mortal woman on that residence. Then they had, I want to say it was 7 sets of twins of boys. 5 or 7. Obviously, the firstborn was King Atlas, who became the ruler of Atlantis. And then eventually the brothers broke apart. There was a great divide from within, which eventually led to the punishment of their father, Poseidon, to basically sink the mountain. Which is kind of interesting because in the Bible it actually does speak of mountains turning to valleys and valleys turning to mountains. Which could also just be a simple metaphor for we may kind of make like a mountain out of a molehill kind of energy. Like our anxiety has a way of over-nerving and overworking us to the point that we create more panic within. So could be where this energy of trust is coming in. The sacred mountain obviously is a call to meditate, to calm, to connect with nature, to receive guidance, as well as to clear one's mind. Be still and take the time to move into the silent place within yourself. Locate your internal source of power. Meditate and wait. Do not move forward until it feels right. Surrender to stillness. Do not take action. If you observe rather than react, you claim your power. From the vantage point of the sacred mountain, your power grows. In silence, you find your sacred witness. It is the dwelling place of your soul. In peace, seek and discover your truth. Move past the bustle and clatter of life into sweet quietude. If you're in pain, don't lash out. Go into it until you find the source so that it can be healed. Resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of stress, urgency, and emergency. Your power is born in silence. This peace gives birth to your serenity. Seek solitude to listen to the voice of your higher self and awaken your inner wisdom. Travel to the peaks of hollowed mountains, and if you can't do this in person, travel in your meditation. Imagine yourself atop a high peak. You can see the world in all directions. Give thanks and offerings to mountains whenever you encounter them. The spirit of the mountain will deeply appreciate your gift. It's crazy. For many years on my spiritual journey over the past 6 years, one of the things I would actually see is mountains and valleys, and it was weird. It was kind of like, I'm almost picturing E.T., but it was like if you could see like the ridge view, like the side view of mountains like this, peaks and valleys, right? It was kind of like me, I want to say like on a bike, kind of just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It was kind of like climbing these mountains. And it was almost like effortlessly in my foresight, which is always strange. But then giving gifts of gratitude for those experiences. It's almost like the earth supports you. But then again, you almost feel like more trust in the process itself. There's more of a sacred component to the experiences that you've gone through. And perhaps that's where your healing can be found. What does the viewer need to know with the sacred mountain? What is Source trying to communicate through the sacred mountain to Aquarius, please? Well, we have 3 cards that want to come out. The first 2 are Victory and Success and the Wishing Well. 6 of Wands, victory, valor, success, a recognition of some sort. And then we have the Wishing Well. So the Wishing Well, obviously, putting your wishes, intentions, your hopes, desires out into the universe. But the Wishing Well is also a reflecting pool. So it's doing the work within so that we can be healed and purified and find that sanctuary of trust in ourselves and in our paths, so that when our intentions, our wishes and desires, our manifestations do come in, we are fully healed and able and ready to receive them with great gratitude, dignity, and grace. And you have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups could be a water elemental. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be. The King of Cups represents our emotional maturity, our healing, our growth. You can't go any higher than the King of Cups, right? Jack, Queen, King. The King is the last card in the element of cups, hearts, right? Our emotions are healing. So this is like obtaining perhaps even emotional trust, that security and connection within self, to trust ourselves as well as trusting others. The finer things in life, music and art, are representative of the King of Cups. Warm-hearted and kind, maintain emotional maturity when dealing with bad vibes of others. Set clear boundaries for yourself. Define what is not acceptable. Composed and in charge of one's own feelings. So you may not be there yet. Perhaps some of you are. But this is the energy of trust, right? You're working with this energy to obtain that emotional balance. And music and art can definitely have a way of connecting us to our deeper soul. So that may be something you want to consider doing if you're not already doing. So I do want to pull you a crystal from the Daily Crystal Inspiration. Crystal energy for Aquarius to work with at this time. What is the crystal for Aquarius? I am going to shuffle these again because we have a lot that came out, but I am going to show them to you quickly just in case any of you were kind of contemplating any of these crystals, just so you know it's a confirmation, right? So we have carnelian. Feed your creativity. Makes a lot of sense with what we were just talking about. Angel aura quartz. Lighten up. Kind of goes to that energy of trust, just surrendering, letting go. We have rose quartz. Open up your heart. Feeling compassion for your journey as well as others. We have agate. Get back into balance. And finally, we have red jasper. Take action. So there may be a call to get into balance before we do take action, right? You did have this Knight of Swords, but remember the Knight of Swords can be risky business. It can be diving in too quick, acting off purely emotional response. But you do have the King of Cups here, and technically this would actually sit in the present. So this is the present energy that you would be actually asked to embody, or you already currently are. So this is emotional security, observing and learning from situations without just necessarily reacting from old hurts and wounds. And if you are acting from old hurts and wounds, that is normal. That is part of being human. But then we start to dive deeper into the reason why, right? And once we understand the why and acknowledge it, we can work to heal that process within and evolve. So Angel Aura Quartz is the one that wants to come out. The energy of lighten up. Kind of a beautiful crystal. It's very, very angelic. Kind of reminds me almost like unicorn type energy. Mystic, creative. Yes, it's okay to lighten up. Life is serious enough. A little levity always adds perspective. Make time for the things that make you smile and laugh amidst all of life's responsibilities. Give yourself permission to prioritize fun. You deserve it. One of the things last night I watched, 4 stand-up comedians on Netflix. And it's really hard for me to find, like, I never liked stand-up comedians when I was little. I always just found them very dull. And lately I've been getting into them, but it's hard to find ones that are actually good, because some of them, like, some of the ones I used to watch were just, I mean, their jokes are funny, but they're just very angry people. And that's where the laughter comes from, is from their severely pessimistic view on life. But some of them are just good, when somebody has it, like they can say things without really offending people, and they're still hilarious as hell. Like Wanda Sykes, I watched last night. Wanda Sykes, I Am an Entertainer. And I've never actually watched a Wanda Sykes stand-up routine. I've seen her in movies. I love her in movies as cameos and stuff. She is very funny. But so I watched one last night. I Am an Entertainer, and she, like, I was busting a gut. She had me laughing so good. So that may be something to check out to kind of lighten up, right? Just a suggestion to kind of shake it up, let loose, no big deal. Embrace the childlike curiosity and excitement that you have within you. Be silly and tap into your carefree, lighthearted nature. You know what they say about all work and no play. Stay connected with your innate playfulness so that when it is time for work, you can show up as the best version of yourself. What does fun look like for you? What makes you smile? When was the last time you laughed so hard you cried? The affirmation of the Angel Aura Quartz. I allow myself to have fun. So anytime you feel yourself like tensing up or needing to be like the adult and always on top of things, perhaps, like you just need to remind yourself of that affirmation. I allow myself to have fun, because what is the point of life if there is no fun? It just becomes a bunch of bullshit, and we're always angry and frustrated, right? Today, find a reason to laugh and let loose. Tell a joke, watch a funny show, or share a funny picture with a loved one. So for the closing message, Aquarius, I'm going to pull you a card from the language of flowers. Closing message for Aquarius. That was good timing, because my throat's starting to hurt and my camera phone is dying. Belladonna, silence, listen more, and quiet be. Totally reminds me of Practical Magic when they drug the guy with belladonna, right? And then they try to resurrect him, and then they bury him, and then obviously that's what the whole movie's about. Belladonna, silence! Anyway, that is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it does, please feel free to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Many blessings. Live, love, light, and trust.